Welcome back to the MNN. This is your host, Antonia, where the news is fake, the drama's real, and I am still on the fence if we should actually change our national anthem, but hell, if the shoe fits, at the end of the day, humanity is still limping. All right, so this is episode 2, the color world crisis, the HOA beef, and definitely Crockett and her undefeated lashes. So previously on the MNN, the group chat was completely unstable, the world was spiraling, and us kids with backpacks, we were 1-8 count away from quitting. So why is humanity slipping, you ask? Well, because last week, the entire world watched a tiny monkey get abandoned by its family, but instead of doing something responsible, we gave it a step parent from IKEA. Yes, a stuffed parent that comes with an Allen wrench, no father, and emotional detachment. And this is where we are as a species, people. All right, let's get into these HOA wars. So now we've got Iraq and Iran, their neighbors who have been beefing since Cash Money brought in the 2000s. Now, they've dragged the entire globe into their neighborhood of hot mess drama. So now Iran wants to start in immediately on Iraq and be like, first off, your wind chimes are giving aggressiveness. It sounds like depression every time the wind blows, and your ghosts are having panic attacks. Iraq claps back and says, they are peaceful. They are on my porch, and also your tree is leaning over my property, giving me mad disrespect. Iran says, my tree is vibing, okay? Your gravel is trespassing. Iraq is like, gravel can't trespass. Iran's like, but yours does. Now, the U.S. wants to enter uninvited as usual, like it didn't just get off a rocket ship from Elon that didn't just crash into the ozone layer and put a hole in it, and like they own the HOA and the planet. They're like, we checked the bylaws. The gravel's unimproved. Both of your welcome mats are faded, and that's a huge violation. Iran and Iraq are like, how is that a violation? And the U.S. is like, because it's unwelcoming. Now, Elon enters the chat. He's like, first off, I'll be adopting the monkey. I'm going to give it a better life, Wi-Fi, solar panels, and a little tiny Cybertruck. And I also have permits for the tree and the gravel if you guys leave. Turkey enters the chat, sipping tea. And he's like, Lord, how does this monkey have more amenities than we do? We're not choosing sides. We're just saying we're really tired of being in this neighborhood group trap. The kids with backpacks are like, we can't even afford homes. How are we in the middle of a senior citizen turf war? Now, Fox News wants to get into the group chat and be like, oh my God, the oil tanker spilt again. The U.S. is like, but how? We have manuals, protocols. We have laminated signs. Germany is like, for real? Who was driving this time? France is like, okay, was the tanker on fire before or after the oil spill? Mexico's like, listen, don't look at us, okay? We didn't touch it. The kids with backpacks are like, we don't really care who did what, but who's cleaning it up? Are we back to Dawn dish soap and those little tiny yellow ducks? Where the hell are all the pigeons? Now, the Caribbeans want to enter the group chat. They're like, hola, one question from the rest of Americas. How y'all spill oil again? And do you need us to come hold up the boat? Respectfully, of course. Puerto Rico's like, every time we blink, y'all spilling something. And then Panama wants to be off the side of the wall and be like, why y'all Walmart still not open? Then Argentina's like, I heard you can't even sue the post office for losing your mail based on your color. The kids with backpacks are like, mail's optional. Cool, love that for us. Then the Dominican Republic wants to slide in and be like, U.S., hey, baby, maybe you should switch your anthem to Shaggy. It wasn't me. The U.S. is like, don't go there. Then Puerto Rico was like, also, why is Elon and 50 Cent making a blacklist for their new survival show? The U.S. is like, who's on it? Canada's like, everybody. The kids with backpacks are like, listen, we need a vacation. Hell, at this point, put us on the show. So now the U.S. is going to try and leave the group chat. They're like, oh my God, you guys are giving me a headache. I'm about to start my own group chat. Canada's like, you about to take Tylenol? Brazil's like, are you? Dominican is like, that seems a little dramatic, but that's really none of my business. Speaking of business, Kamala slides in like a Sephora drop, unveiling a new color palette. She's like, hey everybody, quick question. I know the states are red or blue, but it's really giving expired coupons, holiday vibes. How do you guys feel about, I don't know, purple state, yellow state? Just hypothetically. Brazil's like, girl, this sound like a rollout. Chile's like, this is a soft launch. Kamala's like, nah, this is just my 2028 vision board, y'all. Jamaica's like, girl, we are tired. If you don't just pick a color and run your race. Germany's like, let me get this straight. We're flooding, we're spilling, we're burning, we're glitching. But sure, let's go ahead and talk about a color palette. Then Crockett, her lashes enters before she does. She's like, let me just make one thing clear. I didn't lose. The math was confused. The calculators are biased. And yes, I will continue to adjust my unionized lashes. Kamala, go ahead and endorse me. Kamala's like, since we're not fact checking anymore, the Electoral College has tentatively approved my palette. No, it's not gentrification. We're not forcing anybody to do anything. We're just exploring colors for my vision board. France is like, the color palette is giving like a pride flag. Had a cousin who worked at a makeup counter, and are you actually naming the color spells? The kids with backpacks are like, why are we choosing colors when half the country is living in grayscale anyway? Brazil's like, how y'all keep finding ways to dirty water? And Canada's like, okay, but everything is underwater. Even things that shouldn't be in the water is actually in the water. Who knows? Okay, guys, so that wraps up episode 3 of the MNN today, where the headlines are definitely questionable. The neighbors are petty and the color wheel is somehow now political. So tune in next time on the MNN. Oh, because if this is where we are as a species, I can't wait to see how we fall apart next. Next week, the FFF joins us, which is the Fuel and Foolishness Federation. They finally arrived. The HOA beef does escalate. Elon trademarks the monkey, and Kamala unveils black is the new red. And Venezuela's like, yo, twin, text me back.